View of KDevelop version 6.3.25. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the KDevelop, but before we do that, I just want a quick reminder: I do a live stream every single day. Visit ojambo.com for details, and also be sure to subscribe because it helps out the channel, not just for more frequent content, but also to help others find the channel and help them, especially with programming. I'd like to take this opportunity also to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month, and also give a shout out to followers on the podcast, the Tech Rants. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Okay, so KDevelop is an open source IDE. It's provides you with all the features you need to write, test, and debug your code across various programming languages. It's also cross-platform compatible because it uses it's developed by the KDE team, I believe, and they use the Qt framework, and it's also it's programmed in Qt or Qt. Okay, so it's built for professional developers. It supports many programming languages: C, C++, Python, JavaScript, PHP, and much more. It's efficient. It helps you write clean, error-free code, all with the integrated environment that enhances productivity. It's primarily developed for KDE, so I was right about that. The Linux desktop environment. It's available on other platforms as well. I was correct about that. So the license it's licensed under the GNU General Public License version 2 or later, which means that you're free to use, modify, and distribute it. So to install KDE, because I'm using Fedora Linux, there's really 3 ways to do this. So I know it's in the Fedora repository, so the way you can do it is you just simply type on the command line. You can type, for example, dnf install, then you can type KDevelop, if I can spell it right, develop. Okay, so that's one way to install it. Now, because I'm using the GNOME desktop, I prefer to install it using the from FlatHub. That's the way I installed it. So you can also use the software application, and you can see here, I'm just going to search for KDevelop. KDevelop. How can I spell it? There, this is how I installed it, and let me show you this. So you see here, the Fedora Linux also has a Flatpak repository as well, and it is RPM. So I didn't choose any of those options. I installed it from as I said, from FlatHub. So as you can see here, I tell you the size, and we can also go to you can see the reviews, and you can go to the project website. Obviously it's the kdevelop.org, so I'm going to open that up. It's going to open up in a different web browser, but that's fine. I think this is Firefox it opened up in. Yes, it did. So this is their homepage, kdevelop.org, and you can see there's a lot of information about it, and there you go. So, and Saint, hello Saint. What else is here? Yeah, so that's you can also get it from there. I believe they also usually have information. Oh yeah, download. I don't know how I missed this one. Download here. I see. And for Linux, they also have it's called AppStream. I think that's for the KDE desktop environment. That's another way you can install it. You can also install it if you're using Snaps, and you see they have a Windows version, and for Mac OS they also have the release installer, and you can also get the source code because it's from the KDE GitLab instance. So it is cross-platform compatible, at least for the desktop environments. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here and close this one as well. Okay, so it is installed. So I'm going to open it up. So KDevelop. Oh, before I do that, oops, the more information. So Oh yeah, it's already explained how to launch it as well, how to install it, and it's cross-platform as I said before. You can also use Brew, another way to install it that way if you're on Mac OS. Brew, I believe, is also cross-platform compatible as well. You can install it that way. And the core features: code completion, syntax highlighting, integrated debugger, project management, version control, multiple language support. And here are some screenshots. So for the screenshots, we'll go through all that stuff when I actually do the review for the KDevelop. And this is a live stream. To prove this is a live stream, I'm going to click this screenshots. So yeah, so it's live. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have requirements for advanced code editors. So I have a glossary here just to show you what if you don't know if anything I talk about you don't understand, I do have a glossary. For example, what a code editor is, what an IDE, what plugins are, what themes, open source code managers, that's SCM. This stands for LMB stands for left mouse button, MMB stands for middle mouse button or the scroll wheel. So this is my test suite, my test system. I'm using Ryzen 5 5600 GT. I have 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. As I told you before, I'm using Fedora Linux 42 and it's using the GNOME desktop with Wayland. So that's very important because I'm using Wayland desktop. What happens is something it's a little quirky with the mouse sometimes and some features, so be aware of that. I will have workarounds for you guys. So my test suite, I'm gonna test to see if I can open a 1 gig human readable text file. I have a regex file. I have a syntax file that's PHP. It has PHP in it. It has HTML. It has JavaScript and CSS. That's for syntax checking the syntax highlighting. Media file. This is usually some type of image. It could be JPEG. It could be PNG. It could be AVF. For the Java version, I have OpenJDK 21.0.8, PHP is 8.4.12, and Python is 3.13.7, and the KDevelop version, as I said, it's 6.3.25.0801. I did perform an update yesterday, so all these versions might have changed, but hopefully they did not. So let's actually get started here. So I'm going to open it up, KDevelop. Oh, here we go. This is KDevelop. And the folder you see down here, this is where the test suite are. You see I have the 1 gig file, the XML file, and this is a folder to mimic a project. And here are the images, as you can see here. So I'll drag and drop those ones in here. So the KDevelop, let's go check the version first. So this is okay. I can't use the mouse to go to check the. I might have to. Oh, what is this? More? Oh, this is when I was testing it. So interesting. Usually with the mouse you can scroll through the menus here. This one looks like you cannot, so I have to make it. Oh, that's actually not very good. So I have to click on help. You go to about, and you see it says KDE here. Oh, this is about KDE. What we want is actually about KDevelop. So you see the version is 6.3.25.0.81. So it looks like that's fine. Or 25.08.1. So that's perfectly fine. So that's how it is. And we go to the settings, and you can see you can configure your language, keyboard shortcuts, toolbar, notifications, and KDevelop. You can also change the window color scheme up here. So I want to show you some of the kind of disappointed that I can't scroll here. Yeah, that's actually not very good. Yeah, that I can't go to the settings with the mouse. Yeah, I can only go to code. Yeah, that's really terrible that I can't. Yeah, so I have to make it like full screen just to go to help or go to the settings. But anyway, so the settings, I'll show you what I did configure here. So what I did here is you can see the plugins. For example, you see there's a whole bunch of plugins. You can see Python support that's enabled by default, and you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Subversion, VSC, Git support, and is enabled by default. And then you can change the source formatter and the environment, templates. As I said, it's an IDE, so there's a lot of things you can do in here. You can also put runtimes here like Docker, Android. What else can you do in here? The language support. You can see the code completion, CMake, editor, appearance. So what I did make some changes here. For example, I enabled the word count, and you can enable line count. I don't care about that one, but you can enable that. See, by default, dynamic word wrap is, you see it's enabled. So, and then you can see follow line numbers. You can enable those if you want. And then the borders and status bars, you can do that as well. And the color themes, you can make your own, or you can edit them here. Editing, then open and save. So all the settings are there. Okay, so, and under Windows, you can see you can split left, right, bottom, top, bottom, sorry, left, right. You can previous split, next split. You can do all that, and then the code, there's nothing really important here. And the tools, you can see you're highlighting. You can pick the language there, indentation, indentation, encoding, scripts, like Emmet, that was the old Emmet scripting. As you can see, navigation, editing, switch to command line, spelling. I enabled spelling as well. So by default, it doesn't have automatic spell checking. So I'm going to enable that because we're going to do some spell check later on. And you can see now when I did that, you see the color here. It obviously takes the American spelling of color, but not the Canadian one. And then text to speech. That one I haven't enabled because I don't need that when I'm just doing coding. And what else? You go to lines, so you jump to lines, same thing. Bookmarks, selection. You can do block selection mode. We'll test this later. You see apply word wrap. Format indentation, view. You can shrink font. Sorry, so it has dynamic font zoom. You see word wrap here. You can I enabled it. Okay, and then under edit, the usual copy, cut, paste. Then you can also find and replace in files. Find variants, replace, and then you have file where you can new, open, print, the usual stuff, export, and then you run. We're not going to use this because we're just going to do things manually because I'm using it as an advanced text editor. And you see you have a terminal down here, so terminal does work. You have a code browser, and you have the file system here. So unfortunately, you can't drag and drop into the file manager. So that that kind of, it's not the end of the world, but it's okay. So for example, you see these files, the regex file, the books.xml, the syntax.php. So those are from that folder I showed you earlier, but it doesn't show up here. But you can open up as a project. You can just go to new project, and then it will show up in here, which is, for example, you see this is the home folder. So you can navigate there if you want to do it that way. And these are the documents which I have currently open, so that works extremely well. Okay, so let's get started here. So for the scoring, each feature has two parts. A score of 0 indicates it's missing the feature, and a part of the feature that's working, it will get a score of 0.5. So to eliminate biases, what I did is installed these editors, and I've used them for at least 3 years. So for example, KDevelop, I obviously 3 years ago I was using KDE, so I did try it out then, and Kate as well. And in the past as well, even before I started using Linux, I did fool around with KDE and whatever it came with. I think it was KDE 2.0, maybe 3, way back in the day. And this is one of those applications which I didn't use it on different platforms. I've only used it on Linux. I didn't try it on Windows or Mac OS. So, and then as I said before, I tried to get stable plugins for any missing features. For KDE, I don't think I had to, I didn't have to go and get any third party. And what I mean is, the ones that's not built in, I didn't have to do anything special there. Alright, so the theme, clearly as I showed you there, so that gets a perfect 1.0, you can easily change it. By default, I think when I installed it was a light theme, so I do like the darker theme, so I did change it to dark. Dragging and dropping does work. Unfortunately, you can't specify. Let me explain what I mean here. So let's say I have this file, you see this syntax highlighting test.java. If I want to drag it, for example, right here between the books.xml and syntax.php, or if I drag it between the regex.txt and the books.xml, it won't allow me. Let me explain. So I grab this, I want to drag it right here. You see? Oh, that's weird. It actually worked that time. Okay. Alright, I might have to change the score. Let me close that again. Let's say I want to drag it here. It didn't work before. Or maybe I had to reboot. So I want to drag it right here. Oh, now it's working. Of course it's working now. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. I want to drag it at the beginning of regex.txt. It didn't work before. So I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so that doesn't work. I want to drag it. I want to make it the first one. Yeah, so it doesn't work there. So that's why it got a 0.5. I was like, so that's why. You can't put it in the position you want. All right, where are we? Number 3, opening a very large file. Did not crash, but I was not able to edit it. So for example, you see I have this file, it's 1 gig.txt. You can see it says 1 gig here. So if I drag it and put it in here, so it seems like nothing is happening. In fact, my fan is not even going. So I don't think it's going to open today. I don't know why. So there we go. Okay. Oh, maybe I put it in the wrong place. So let me actually put it up here. Yeah. See, nothing. So that's why that got a 0.5. Oh, it actually opened up. Maybe it's gonna. Let me see if I can actually edit it this time. So let's say I go here. Of course, now I can edit it. So you know what it is? I think the reason is that when I first installed KDevelop, I was trying to do all these things, and they would not work. So I guess I needed to do a reboot. Shut down the computer and reboot, and then this works. So it's clear I can edit that. See, I can edit that, and I can even hit Control S to save. Yeah, no problem. Let me undo. Okay, there we go. So I'm trying to undo it. I don't want to. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can save. Okay, looks like I can save it. So I'm going to close it down. Oh, wait. Okay. The reason I close it off because I don't want those warnings to come up as well, because it's probably gonna eat up memory. The CPU fan and everything is not even coming on, so it looks like you do need to reboot. So it does work perfectly fine in Wayland, so that's okay. But I'm still gonna give it a 0.5 because it's a little bit slow, and I said that's what I experienced when I first opened it up. And you see I did open up twice, but it did take a time. It looked like nothing was working. Okay, multiple files can clearly be opened in multiple tabs, as you can see here. I have 3 files open. This book was just split, so I can split down here like half, top, bottom. Okay, so multiple drives can new tabs or drag options can be split. So I got a 1.0. I don't like the way it's split. You can't, for example, I can't simply just drag it here and it would work. I don't know if it might be a Wayland thing, but you have to go to that split thing in the, was it view? One of these hidden ones, I think after this one, and then do the split. Okay, where are we now? Okay, number 6, creating non-project files is possible. Clearly it is. As you can see, these are non-project files. And look what happened here. This is another thing I dislike. You see, it's supposed to be half screen. Yeah, you see, this is another thing. This is a Wayland thing. So usually I have to go and drag it. Yeah, I can't even drag this. Wow. You see, even it's supposed to be half screen, but it's refusing to go to the half screen. That's it. I'll just leave it the way it is right now. Soft wrap clearly works. For example, I'll prove to you soft wrap works. You can see here it says a soft melody played with a record player in the corner. So for example, if I, I'll do that later, but it does work, as you can see. Spell check works. As you can see here, I said the Canadian spelling of color versus the American one, and then it's a spelling mistake, so it does work because I turned on the automatic spell check, but you don't have to. I mean, you can do it manually, but I prefer the automatic one. Word count also works. For example, you see this should be 3 words. So if I highlight this, down here it should tell me, yeah, you see it says, what is this, 6 words? Oh, I didn't realize I selected the bottom one as well, which is 6. So if I actually select 3, yeah, you see it says 3 words, so that's fine. Yeah, you have to turn it on in the settings. Where are we now? Number 10, go to line. So for example, right now I'm on line 17. If I type Control G, and I type, say, 2, you see it jumped to line 2 over there, so that does work. Indentation, so here's a perfect one. You see here we have book, so if I press enter, it goes perfectly there. And then this one, which is indented, for example, you see this author. If I press down, you see that it did it perfectly correct. So that one also got a perfect score. Fonts can dynamically be scaled. You just hold down the control key and the middle mouse button, you see there. And this is what I was trying to tell you about soft wrap. You see, for example, here it says Notepad next, the lights flickered, no, that one. They danced under the stars as if the night would never end. Okay, so that perfectly works as well. Find and replace obviously does work as well. For example, I'm going to change Notepad next here, and I'm going to change it to what am I going to change it to? I want to change it to KDevelop. So you can see here, Control F is for find. Which one is for find and replace? Replace, here we go. It's Control R. So Control R, here we're going to change it to K, is it KD? Is the D capitalized as well for KDevelop? Oh yeah, it is, yeah. So KDevelop. And then you see the mode, you can do plain text, you can do whole words, escape characters, regular expressions. So it does work, and you can see they're pretty simple. What else is here? Multiple language syntax highlighting. So this is where we check our PHP file. As you can see here, it's HTML, and this is CSS, the style part, and then we have JavaScript, and then we clearly have PHP here, as you can see, the echo and all of that. So multiple language syntax highlighting is enabled, so that got a perfect score. Code folding. Is, for example, I don't know if you, yeah, right here. You see this. This is this div here. You see, I can collapse it, and let's see this PHP. This is PHP here as well. I cannot see. Oh, that's a div. But you see, yeah, it does work. For example, JavaScript here as well. And there we go for JavaScript. So it does work as well. Next, let's go to. It also works for markup languages as well. Obviously, programming language. For example, did I open up the Java file? Let's open up the Java. Here's Java file. Open up in here. And let's see if we, see code forwarding is here for the public. You see, there we go. It does work, just to prove to you. Next, wait a minute, did I drag it? I drag it to the end here. Why is it going in the middle? I think no, not this one. I dragged it to the end, did I not? Huh. So that score of 0.5 was correct. I'm trying to drag it to the end after books.xml, but it's putting it in the middle here. So, so it looks like there's still cork. It doesn't work the way I wanted it to work. Where were we here? Oh, so rectangular block selection. That one, let's go to the regex file here, and I'll prove it to you. So that one I think is under selection. You see under selection here, you can enable the block selection. The shortcut is Control-Shift-B. So I'm going to enable it, and then all you do is put your mouse wherever you want, and that is the rectangular block selection. You see that's what I just selected right there. Now it also works when you have like soft wrap on. For example, if I go here, oops. There we go as well. You see, for example, you see this line number 15, it didn't grab the so, and this one here, line 16, it didn't grab the life and the hyphen. So it works the way it's supposed to. Now, one thing that kind of confused me is this one here, the multiple, where was that here? This multiple cursors. Multiple cursors. So first of all, you need to uncheck this. I had this on and I was wondering what wasn't working, so you have to uncheck the block selection, and what you do is you have to configure it. It's in the settings, editing, text navigation, multiple cursor. So let's go there. Again, I really dislike the fact that I have to go here, settings, configure KDevelop, and it was, I think, editor, appearance, and oops, I have to go read that again. Where was it again? It was KDevelop, settings, editing. Oh, it's in editing. Which one is editing? I don't see. Oh, editing here. Editing and text navigation. Multiple cursor. You see multiple cursor here. You have to decide which how to enable. Like you see, it says multiple cursor modify. You see, you can choose Alt, Control, Meta. You can pick one of these. So I'm gonna leave it at Alt. Okay, so if you don't know what multiple cursors are, multiple cursors, for example, you see the cursors down here. I'll put it down here. You see the word color. So I can press the Alt key, press the Alt key here, and then press the Alt key here. You see that? Then I can type. So that's multiple cursor. It's different from the block selection. Or for example, if I wanna pick this word color, I hold down the Alt key and I wanna pick this one here and this word silent. You see? That is multiple cursor. So now, unfortunately, if I remember correctly, oh, it actually did work. This was one where I was actually able to also search in the so if I do a search, I'm able to search your missing your live through. Oh, long time Asim. Oh, Asim, hi man, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining today as well. Yeah, I missed you guys too. I missed you too. Okay, so where was I again? Yeah, so that's multiple cursor, and you can also search in the multiple cursor. So for example, remember Control F. I think it's Control F to That is F for edit. Yeah, you see here in the find, in the find you see it's silent the spelling color. So so it does work. You can also do perfectly like that as well. Right, so let's go back here. What else is here? Distraction free mode, of course, that works. You can get rid of the line numbers, you can get rid of this pane. There's also a distraction free mode in the settings, so that works. You got a perfect score. The file manager, as I said before, you can't drag stuff into the file manager, so that's got a 0.5. And the terminal is down here. And the funny thing about the terminal, it says that install package KDevelop to provide command KDevelop. What? I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to install it. Yeah, so anyways, you can see here I can you know, you can do things, I can list, I can do stuff like that. So obviously the terminal does work here, and here it is again. You can just toggle it if you want it or not. All right, and so with that said, the score, same. I'm doing pretty well today. Today is actually the last sunny day for a while. It's actually going to be, oh, you're in hometown. Oh, great to see that you're back. So I think the high today is 17 degrees, and the next few days actually are going to be, actually for the entire almost a week, it's going to be, the temperatures are going to drop to about 12 degrees Celsius, and it's not going to warm up until I think next Sunday, when it will be 20 degrees for, no, sorry, I think Saturday, next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but you know, over a week from now, Saturday and Sunday is going to be 20 degrees, and then after that temperatures are going to be drop again to about 12, 13 degrees. So that's why you see I'm wearing this fleece. I'm wearing this fleece one, and I'm actually purchasing another one for the cold weather. I'll provide an update after I finish this tutorial. So as I said, KDevelop, it got a score of 90% or 9 out of 10. There were some features which were kind of missing or not implemented the way I want. So yeah, so it got a 9 out of 10. So it's not about one. It's actually pretty fast, and if you don't mind dragging in some KDE stuff, it's actually it's a pretty good IDE. Would I use this? I'm not sure. Like for example, as I said, I do use NetBeans as my preferred IDE. Could this replace NetBeans? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. It's actually, obviously it's much lighter. I'll probably have to use it a little bit more before I decide if it should replace NetBeans. Yeah. Where was I here? So, if you want to learn more about programming, if you want to dive deeper into programming, check out my programming books and courses. I have the programming books on Amazon. The link is in the description. And I have online courses at ojamboshop.com. And also, if you want one-on-one programming tutorials, you can contact me at ojambo.com/contact. And if you need some KDevelop installation and migration assistance, that's ojamboservices.com/contact. So in conclusion, KDevelop is a robust open source IDE that can significantly improve your coding workflow, whether you're working on a small project or a large application. It has all the features and flexibility to meet your needs. Installing KDevelop on Fedora is quick and simple, and with support for many programming languages, is a perfect choice for developers at all levels. Happy coding, and don't forget to check out my programming books and courses for more resources. Alright, so with that at the end, I just want to remind you that I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You visit ojambo.com for more details. You just go to the menu, watch menu, live sub menu, and also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. With that said, I do have some other resources I've been plugging this month. The first one is that, as you guys know, I'm in a rural area, and I do use SpaceX Starlink because the service is not very good for the rural internet. This is actually very, very good. I'm actually been using it right now for my for this live stream, and I also use it on my phone for Wi-Fi calling. That way I don't have to pay roaming charges. The signal is weak anyway, so with this it's like I receive calls, SMS and MMS as well. And I'm also been plugging my book here. It's called the Algorithmic Serpent. It's a novelette, and you see there, that's my name, Edward Ojambo. It's about a scientist who creates an AI, and he loses control. He has to quickly gain control again. As you can see, this is the paperback version. It's also available on Amazon. The link is in the same description for the author page. And I made it as affordable as possible, so you can. It's a nice, simple read. Okay, with that said, I do have a quick update. Yeah, sure, Asim, you can ask a question. Go ahead, man. It's cold there too. Oh, okay. So yeah. So if you guys have any questions, you can post them. I can answer them now because the main part of the tutorial, the tutorial is actually done. So I am going to tonight. I might do a live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure yet, but let me answer this question by Yasim. He says, "What do you do for a living as a main profession?" I'm a freelance programmer, so I have my own business. It's at ojamboservices.com. I do programming, like I get clients and I do the most part, about 80% is websites for them. I maintain websites, and but I also, in the other past, I've also done things like database maintenance. For example, one of the things I used to do was, there was a client who he does email marketing, so he would have like database records. There would be like billions of records, and that's what so my job would be to get that database and clean it up. Like, for example, remove all the empty records. For example, here in Canada we have like 30 million, 40 million people maybe. So you can imagine if you get a database in a month that has billions of records, most of them are going to be empty, or they're just spam or whatever. So that was part of my job. But mostly I do I maintain or create websites for clients. That's my main I guess what I do for a living. I also do like I've created some apps, like some mobile apps for iOS and Android for some clients as well. But that one is such a little, it's so little. It's probably like 0.1% of the stuff I do. Okay, what type of advice do you want? Sure, go ahead. You want to be a programmer? Is that the advice you're asking? Or yeah, you gotta tell me, what do you want? Sure. What do you add advice in? Speaking of what I do for a living, as I get older, I'm also, some people wanted me to do some consultations, so I probably will be moving towards doing more consultations and instead of the business the way it is, because it looks like people, I do talk to my clients, or I talk to them literally every day. They are moving towards AI stuff as well. So what I suspect is in a couple of years, the vast majority of like my clients will probably just be using AI to do little things, and the really complex stuff, then they'll give that to me. So I could see myself in a few years, I probably won't be doing any programming for clients. I'll probably just be giving them advice when the AI makes mistakes, and they do make mistakes. Sure. So Asim, what advice do you want? What do you want to do? Oh, was that just like a rhetorical question or something? Sure, I can give you advice. I've actually given some advice to some of my subscribers. They were asking me what. Okay, there we go. Like, I'm interested in app and web development. So which tools and which skills are critical for a real-world scenario that a program must learn? So that question depends. Don't worry, I'll answer your question. So, for example, if you want to do like what I'm doing, which is freelance programming, so sometimes a client might say, okay, look, I have this application I want you to make for me, but I want you to do it in Java, for example, or I want you to do it in TypeScript, or I want you to do it in Python. So in that case, you have no choice. You have to learn those languages. But like for me, I've been lucky in that my clients let me use any programming language that I want or like. So what I did, like when I was learning the web development, I wanted to learn something that was simple. I knew way back then that I didn't want to learn like web development using languages like Java or C, C++, because I knew that that was a dead end, or basically it would be too difficult for me. And so I decided on PHP, and PHP has been very, very good for me. So PHP is very big in obviously on the web for web development. So to answer your question is, if you're going to work for like a formal, like for say an old type of company, like say IBM will obviously Java. COBOL is basically only IBM. Nobody else uses that except for IBM, and it's basically closed source. Even though it's open, it's really closed source. The only programming places where you actually see COBOL will be on IBM servers. So if you want to maintain that, you learn that. But if you want to branch out on your own, like let's say you want to make your own apps, pick whatever language you're comfortable with. If it's JavaScript, sure, go ahead. You can use stuff like Apache. It used to be called PhoneGap. I think now it's called Cordova. Apache, I think it's called Apache Cordova now. So you can use things like that. And also with JavaScript you can do both, obviously on the web, and you can also do backend stuff like Node.js. So that is really popular one. Like I see for jobs, that's very, very popular, especially things like continuous development. JavaScript is really, really big. If you really wanna like what I did, if you wanna be like ahead of the curve, you could do something like just pick a language which you think will take over. For example, like between something like one of the emerging programming languages like Go or Rust, you can they're still new, so if you become an expert in them, you have a heads up if that's what you're looking for. But if you just want to, what's popular right now, any of the JavaScript ones like TypeScript, React, learn one of them and you'll be fine. But for me, I just stick to plain JavaScript because I know plain JavaScript has been around for, when did JavaScript first come out? I think 1997 or whatever. So I prefer that because it's also easier to maintain. Like for example, I did an app last year for Shopify. I was given 3 options: Rust, TypeScript, or plain JavaScript. So I just chose plain JavaScript. Here's why. Even today, Rust is still rapidly changing, so you need to maintain that, meaning that you need to upgrade it. And then with TypeScript as well, TypeScript is probably about stable now, but I didn't want to have to go back to the client and say, oh look, there's a new version of TypeScript or a new version of Rust. You need to upgrade the application. So I just decided to create it in just pure JavaScript. So because the program still runs today. Now some of the Shopify stuff, they were, I think they maintain it for 5-6 years. So the client will be happy because I don't have to come back to them, or they don't have to come to me. and say, hey, you need to upgrade this application, right? So you have to be aware of that as well. So if you don't know any programming, I would recommend start with something really simple, and something like a scripting language. It could be, as I said, JavaScript, PHP, Python. Those are a lot of fun. And the good thing about those scripting languages, even Bash, is that they're very popular. You have use cases. For example, Python is very good to learn because all the AI, all the front ends, all that stuff, the APIs, they're all done in Python. So that's a very good language to learn. For example, PHP, I said that's for the web. What do you call it? WordPress, Drupal, those type of languages. So that's going to be around for a while as well. And then JavaScript. For the web, you definitely need to know that. If you want to learn, to be honest with you, I learned JavaScript through jQuery. I did learn through jQuery, especially there was a guy, his called Chris Coyer. He owns a website, csstricks.com. I actually watched his videos, and I became an expert because of him for CSS and JavaScript. Java and Python at the same time now, as per my syllabus. Yeah, Python is pretty good. Java is okay. The good thing about Java is they have different. If you learn Java, it will be very good for you. But I'm saying that if you find Java a little bit difficult because you're also learning a scripting language like Python, just keep up with it. Just learn the basics. You can then continue something that's Java related, like say, Scala or Kotlin. So you're in good company there as well. And Java is closed platform, meaning that if you create an app in Java, it should be able to run everywhere, like on Mac OS, Windows, Linux, etc. And Java is also popular for things like games, obviously Android. Although Android is going more towards Kotlin, but you can still use Java, and you'll be able to use Java for a very, very long time. Because Java, I said IBM is a big supporter of Java, obviously Oracle as well, and I said there's a lot of applications out there, enterprise, running on Java, so Java is going to be there for a while. So it's same with Python. So those are good languages to learn. You're not wasting your time. So also, as I said, if you want to be ahead of the curve, you also look at one of those languages, one of the new languages, like I said, like Go, Rust, any of those, because what I'm saying is when those languages become very popular in 5 to 10 years, you could be an expert there as well. So that's something you can also pick up as well. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, so I was actually. It's funny thing is actually I actually talked to. I always tell this. You're not the only one. I always mention this to my customers as well. Unfortunately, these days people don't do testing, which is very unfortunate. Like I think they look down at testers. Testing used to be a natural profession, but it looks like, especially with coding, things are not tested anymore. I just gave you an example here today. Look at it, right? So usually in an application, if I use my mouse and I drag the middle mouse button, it should show the rest of the menus. So clearly this wasn't tested properly. Now they probably don't have enough testers, but that is a simple thing where I don't think it's a bug, but it's probably something nobody thought of. So this is another thing where things are not tested anymore. Testing is very, very important. Sure. What's the other question you have for me? That's a good question. I like to be. People think I'm a narcissist, and I want to control everything, but that's not true. I just want to know how things work. I like knowledge. Like even something which I find boring, I do like, I still want to know about it, so I like knowledge. What I mean is that, for example, like everything I know, I teach people. Like, for example, I do these tutorials. I don't like the idea of, oh, I have this special knowledge, I'm gonna keep it to myself so I can make money. My philosophy is I like to share knowledge so that things can be improved. For example, like this one here, if someday for maybe KDE or the KDevelop sees it, they can go and fix it. So that's what I'm saying. I like to share. That's why the reason I like the open source, because people volunteer and they make those things for free. So so to answer your question in a way is, why should you get into programming? I don't like the way you phrased it, but I said I like to think of it in a more of a knowledge based. So I'm saying that I like to share, and I wish things were freely shared so that things could improve. That's what I think. That's my philosophy. That's what motivates me. For example, that's why I like making these tutorials. Is I like to share the knowledge I have, and so that things can be improved. So, for example, as I said, I use NetBeans. So, for example, maybe somebody who is working with NetBeans, they can see this tutorial and they can say, oh, wow, I like the way KDevelop does this. Let's implement that. Or, for example, if the KDevelop developers watch this video, they can say, oh yeah, NetBeans does this better. So that's why I like to share. I like knowledge. I like sharing knowledge. I hope that answers your question. And yeah. I did promise that so yesterday I promised that I would take a look at some proprietary software like, say, DaVinci Resolve and others. However, when I went to check out DaVinci Resolve yesterday, it looks like they expect you to register, which doesn't make sense to me for the free version. But I'll see if we can get around that maybe tonight or another workaround. I also found some other applications, so I'll probably review those tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to end this live stream, and I'll see you guys tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and also tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. With that said, thanks again to Saint and Asim for joining the live chat. And if any of you guys are watching, please subscribe. As I said, I like sharing this information, and it helps others as well. Yeah, thanks, man, and have a great day. And see you guys later tonight and tomorrow. Bye now.